Yo, welcome to the Dope and Tape Show. We have Darryl. He's from Canada. He's currently doing inspections and service, and he has about 15 years in the industry. So a lot of knowledge in there. Welcome, Darryl. Thank you for coming
Thanks,
in
guys.
the show. You're in the van? You got a van or you got a truck? It looks like a van.
I got a van, and I thought the van would be the quietest place. I got two kids, so they're just running around hectic. So why not do it in the office? Nice and quiet,
There
man.
you go.
That's
No,
awesome.
absolutely.
That's what Chris did.
Sun is still open, still up. So do you have a trash can and fire pump equipment in that van?
Yeah. Well, I do hydrants. I do everything. So this is my van for everything, man. I'm a complete show. Place I got.
So what method do you use for your hydrants? You use like a diffuser?
Yeah, like a LPDD.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I went to get a package at my apartment complex today, and I noticed some guys, they had a short hose, and then they hooked it to a ground diffuser. It was something I'd never even seen before. I don't
Okay.
know how they're doing it or whatever. I didn't ask because I didn't want to get into it, but it was pretty weird. I gave him some stickers and stuff like that and everything. And so typically, we start off the show, we just kind of get your story. And so who brought you in? Because no one really just applies for fire protection. So how'd that
Well,
happen?
honestly, for me, honestly, I was always wanted to get into trades. Always good with my hands. And my brother's a pipe fitter, and I wanted to get on as a pipe fitter, and they didn't have no jobs for me at the union hall as a pipe fitter. So they said, "Well, we got a job as a sprinkler fitter," and I said, "No, I don't want it. I want to be a pipe fitter." And he's like, "Well, we're willing to hire you on right now if you want to be a sprinkler fitter." And I was like, "Nah, I'll stay home." And I went home, and I'm living with my brother, and he goes, "Did you find a job?" And I'm like, "No." Because I sent you to the hall to find a job, and I heard that you did find one. Well, I'm like, well, they offer me sprinkler fitting, and I don't know what that is, and I don't want to do it. And he goes, well, you're gonna learn to like it because you need to pay the bills. So,
Yeah.
so I said, okay, well, I'll hop in, I'll ask for the job, and I asked for the job, and I got hired on, and here I am, 15 years later, still doing the same
They
thing.
were forced in.
In the union?
They strong armed him.
Yeah. Yeah, so I did 13 years in the union and then 2 years non-union, and I'm still working non-union right now as we speak.
Nice.
Okay.
Awesome. Yo, what up,
So
guys? Teague,
when
Chandler.
did you leave? Like leave the
Uh,
union and then got off union, then came back?
I'm still working non-union as we speak right now, and I enjoy it a lot. Uh, the reason why I left because I wanted to go into service. Right now, the union side of the service world it's it's tight. It's most of the people there have them gigs, and they're not giving up them gigs whatsoever.
Yeah.
So I was sanctioned to go work non-union because I want to open my skills more, and I went and looked for non-union companies that wanted service guys to join their companies and get a service van and build my knowledge into the sprinkler world with doing service.
Good for you, dude.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, so Bobby does day work as well.
Yeah, I
That's
love
kind
I
of what
love
you're
day
doing.
work. You're doing more service though, right, Daryl?
Yeah, so I do. We have roughly, I don't know how many jobs, but we got quite a bit of jobs that we just do service for annuals. So I'll do the tampers and flows in each building. I'll do the dry systems. I'll do the backflows as well. I'll maintaining the sprinklers and making sure everything is not working in good condition for the whole building. And then I'll write up all my reports, and then do a little dynastic to figure out what is wrong, and then we get approval to fix it. And then since I did the annual, I'll do the fixing for the problems as well. So I know what the problems are right off the bat.
Oh, that's cool.
And
Oh,
then
that makes
most of our
sense.
buildings, they have private hydrants. So they need their fire hydrants tested as well. So I'll go test their fire hydrants as well.
You
Oh,
ever worked
And
cool.
on
then,
fire hydrants?
oh, I did 3 fire hydrants today.
Oh wow. What did you
Lucky
do with those?
bastard. I
Like
want I want to do fire
inspect
hydrants.
them or did you pull them apart?
No, he puts
Uh,
that big diffuser on there and flows those babies. I see him.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's fun. That's
It
a lot of
it
fun.
looks fun. I'm not gonna lie. I'm
So
super jealous when I
most
see you guys working on hydrants because I don't get to play with them.
Especially when you
uh,
hook it up to something that's attached to like a diesel pump and you're throwing water as far as you can
When
see.
you're somewhere and
yeah,
you're doing your job, but it's something that's crazy and it could like bring a Karen about, I love that. Like let it rip.
like
There's got to be
my
Yeah.
favorite part.
there's got to be people that come up and like tell you guys you're flooding the place or something. No?
Oh,
My
100%.
favorite part is honestly kids. I get like I'll do a couple of schools, and I'll have like 20 kids that run right beside me. Like, can you keep it running? Can you keep it running? I'm like,
Oh,
no,
that
I
is
gotta shut them out,
awesome.
guys.
That is cool.
Oh,
But
that's
yeah,
funny.
it brings joy to me to see like everything safe.
Well,
That's why I'm in the industry.
hopefully those kids wanna be just like you.
And like for me, it's like I want to learn everything. So like even like when I'm doing service and doing inspections, like I'm right beside my fire alarm guy, learning everything about the fire alarm panel and learning of trying to learn as much as I can. Even my electrician I have right beside me, I try to watch him right beside him and see how he wires up my flow switch. So if I write up a flow switch that's incorrect, and then
If you're in a
two
pinch,
months down the road, 2 months down the road, he'll wire it up for me. So like
that's
I do it
excellent.
all.
I love learning everything too.
Like I posted some videos to
This is
you
our
showing
career.
you even the small
Sorry.
little things like backflows, taking backflows apart and putting backflows together again. How I found that big huge rock in the backflow that why was not working properly.
Yeah, they didn't
So
flush it.
like every
They flushed it with a garden hose, like your typical guy that does like underground. He'll just like put a garden like a 3/4 garden hose and like lets it run all night. He's like, yeah, I flushed it. I'm like, no, you didn't flush it.
no
I want to see
exactly.
some 2.5 inch hoses on there, and I want to see that baby running. That's how you flush it. You're just taking the top water off with a hose.
And
Yeah.
like in the summertime, I do all the fire pumps. So like we got about 20-25 fire pumps to test in the summer.
Oh,
So
that's sick.
we get our yeah. So like I posted some pictures to you already, testing some fire pumps already. So
Yeah,
like that's our summertime. We test most of our fire
I got
pumps.
to go back in the DMs and screenshot them and share them. My phone, I ended up maxing Brian and myself. We both our phones were completely maxed out at the end of NFPA.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
couldn't
we're
even
gonna
take
have to figure
I
something
couldn't even
out.
take a picture. I think that might have been the problem with my Instagram is why like I was uploading on LinkedIn, I
They're
was uploading
glitching.
on YouTube, and I was trying to make a reel last night for today, and then like my phone just all the apps just shut off. I'm like, uh-oh. And then
Did you
since
go
then,
down the strip at all?
yeah,
We did one night,
yeah,
kind of a little
we
bit.
like did a
Like,
little run around with
but
the old timers.
it was mainly just it was work the whole time. I mean, we were grinding
I did
and
not
like
put down my
yeah.
this thing did not leave my side. The trusty tripod. Huh?
No, it was in his pocket.
I had this in my
We were at a
pocket. We're
bar
like
one night
we
and he was
walk
at it was still in
yeah,
his pocket.
yeah, we went into a bar and the guy has the wand, right? And he's like, "You got to empty your pockets." I'm like, "Uh-oh. All right."
Yeah.
He got battery packs and lights and microphones and he's like, "What the
Who are these
he's like,
guys?
"What do
What is
you
going on?
why do you have all this stuff?" I'm like, "Yeah, man. You'll see."
We put stickers everywhere.
Oh, every escalator in Vegas. From
Yeah.
New York to MGM to the Luxor to the
PSA.
Mandalay. And who knew that they all connect? Like you don't have to go down on like the sidewalk. They all connect. All them
Yeah,
Yeah,
hotels,
they
they all
do.
connect. All them casinos. It's pretty
See, the
crazy.
last time I was in Vegas was 2000. I think it was 2010. So it's been a while since I've been there. But yeah, I've been there twice now.
My
Okay.
phone died as
How
soon
long
as
of
I
a
was about to
flight is that from
post.
you in Canada? You hear me, Daryl?
Like, what was that?
How long of a flight is that from you?
Roughly 6 hours.
Okay. So
Six
that's about
hours?
4 hours for me.
Yeah,
That's how far
roughly.
it was for me.
Yeah.
Huh.
You're
Oh,
up there, man.
Canada. You'll
You're
Well,
see.
up there,
I'm
Bobby.
gonna post on Instagram. Yeah, then my flight got delayed. Like it got delayed and delayed.
like
What time
I
you end
work
up
on
leaving?
so many drive systems.
We didn't take off until like 10 o'clock at night or something. I sat in the airport for like 5 hours, bro.
Were you
Oh,
jet
that
lagged at all, or
I
I'm
mean,
just tired.
I don't know. I just had to go right back to work, so I don't know if I could had time to feel jet lag. But they put 2,000 pounds of extra fuel on the plane, and they were like, they didn't like tell us for like an hour. They just kept saying they were doing some kind of maintenance or something, and then they finally were like, yeah, so we did something that we've never really did before. We put 2,000 extra pounds of fuel on the plane, so we got to take it out. It's going to be about an hour, and then like we're going to board you as we take it out. And then they're like, so we have another problem. We took out all the fuel, so now we have to refuel. It's going to be like another half an
Well,
hour. I'm like, what? Have you ever heard of that? They put too much in, then they took it all out, and then we had to do it again. I'm like, hope they don't put too much in again.
I was on a flight where we had a flat tire. They had to change the tire.
What? Did it
Yeah.
pop when they land when the last guys
Oh,
landed?
I don't know. I guess they hit something because while we were boarding, everything was fine, and then they did their final check, and they're like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, tire's flat." That
Oh,
would suck.
jeez. Just get some fix a
That could
flat.
have been
Let me
bad.
get out of here. At least they checked
it, it
them.
still it still blows my mind when I was flying in Canada and I was a young kid at the time, and
Post this.
my dad always carried a pocket knife in his pocket. And this was back in 1998 before the trade centers happened. And my dad asked the pilot, "Hey, can we go in the cockpit to show my kid all the stuff?" And he said, "No problem, head in front." And I sat in the pilot's lap, and my dad was right beside me. He had a pocket knife in his pocket, and like it was like nothing ever
The
happened
good
because
old
nothing did
days.
happen. Like you couldn't imagine like that happening nowadays. Like it would never happen.
There's no way.
When I
No.
left,
Oh, on the way back, I was in which airport was I at? Yeah, I guess I was leaving Vegas,
you were
and
at the Harry Reid Airport.
is that what it's called?
Yeah, I made
Why
a
don't they
video,
just call it the Las Vegas airport?
bro.
Sounds way
I made a
better.
video about that.
So someone must have gave a lot of money.
No, like
But my,
Harry Reid probably bought it, and he's got like this huge ego or something. Oh no, it's like a senator that nobody likes. I forget
oh,
what it was, but Las Vegas Airport would be
so
dope.
both of my bags got flagged, and they
Oh,
went in
great.
my carry on, and they went all through it. Yeah,
So
That happened to
when
me
I
when
come
I
out
went to
of
Vegas.
Boston, when I leave Boston, you can like I keep my shoes on. I don't have to open my bags. I
really.
got a TSA bag. If I flip it the right way, it scans the laptop through it. You're just in right through Logan, Las Vegas. Oh my god! I had to basically empty both of my bags. It's all the
Yeah,
equipment
me
that I had on
too.
me, right? Like the dude for some reason, like my leg, something on my leg, he's like, "What are you carrying on your leg?" And I'm looking at the screen, and my shin is red, and the dude's like rubbing my shin. I'm like, "Bro, pull my pant leg up. There's nothing on my legs." They're like wanting me to take my socks off. Every bag was opened. Then he found the little fan, the little fan I brought. He found that. He's like, "Why don't you take this out?" I'm like, "Dude, I got 5 bins of stuff that I took out. Like, my bad, bro." He's like, "We got to go back through." Took
Like
forever.
for
Harry Reid.
for like me, I got for winter time. I have a Milwaukee battery operated jacket,
Oh, it's got a bunch of
and I
wires in it.
fucking I love the jacket. It's friggin' sweet, but my wife hates it when we go somewheres and I have to go through a metal detector with it on. Oh, it's a nightmare.
Oh,
I don't
that's
even bring it to.
I got a couple of those. I love those things too. Keeps you nice and warm. I
so
remember
they
that
It
piece of
does.
pipe
scanned
that was plugged off with the PVC. Yeah, I remember that too. It's gonna be in.
so they scanned my carry on bag, my backpack twice, and then they scanned my rolling bag twice, and then they opened it up and took everything out
And then you're trying to
and just
force it
went
all
all
back
through it.
in. There's all people
Yeah.
trying to go by.
Yeah,
It's awful.
he said, "You want to put it back in, or you want me to?" I was like, "You took it out, you
Thanks.
put it back in. Make sure it's neat."
So you got anything sharp in here? I'm like, you just put it through the X-ray machine, dude. There's nothing sharp in there.
Uh, I don't know. Like
But
it was a pain in the
the
butt.
vibes at NFPA were just out of this world, man. You walk in, it's literally Disneyland for sprinkler fitters. Anyone in this industry, you just walk into that show and you're just like, you feel where you're there. You're where you're supposed to be. Everywhere you look is something you know. Everywhere you look, every name you see, you're like, I know that name. I've installed one of these.
Yeah. The
Oh,
weird thing is
totally.
like we couldn't slow down. Like
Yeah.
we were going 1,000 miles an hour, and this is our first show. So we're while we were going 1,000 miles an hour, we're also having short conversations to make sure that is, hey, are we doing this right? I'm gonna do this. You're gonna do
Yeah.
this. Okay, are we gonna do this? Like we were
Maybe we should
trying
split
to
up.
figure this thing out.
Like,
Yeah, we split up, then we got back
maybe we should
together, and
split
then
up.
like we're
And then we lost each other for a bit, and I'm trying to call him. I'm calling him. I got his phone. I'm like, oh shit.
yeah.
My
Well,
phone kept
for
dying.
me, I seen all your great technology that you're throwing out, especially Argo. Like the technology that is nowadays is unbelievable, and it's so fast.
Represent.
And what they're doing as a company and bringing out new tools that will help us out way
Yeah,
faster.
they were so inviting. It was awesome.
It was awesome. The tools that they have are really really incredible.
Ryan, Darryl's from Canada. Ryan Whitley's up in Canada. Yeah,
We
they
have a
had
big we have
The,
a
the,
lot of
there
followers from Canada
lot of
too.
different changing things they're making up there. The
That adjustable head
the
wrench is
drop
awesome.
nipple wrench.
Yeah.
Have you ever taken a drop out from above a ceiling? And he's
You
got
can't see.
they got this one with a light and it goes into the female RC and it's got the socket that goes around. I'm gonna post a video of it. I'm just
I
trying to.
seen that picture actually. I was wondering what that was. I
So
was even bothered.
if you stay tuned to the Dope and Tape YouTube, you'll be able to see an exclusive interview from the guy who explains it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's what I like about Argo, man. They're small little tools that they have, but they specialize and be proud of it to help out our local fitters like us to
Well, and
make
then
our job a lot quicker.
they ask for feedback. They
And
take
that's a good thing.
constructive criticism well, and they feed off it, and then they change it to make it better. Yeah, I got a good video of
Yeah.
that whole thing that explains it. It's pretty good. Camille,
So I do have one
my dude
question for you
Camille.
guys.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
do you got?
So
What you got?
my question for you guys was, what was the neatest thing that you liked for when you were out there for Vegas wise? Like what tool blew you away that you were like, man, I need this in my pouch. Like this is what I need this. Like,
Oh, the
Yeah.
adjustable concealed head wrench, for sure. That's
is
for
that it?
me. If you're just saying this tool
Just
within
tool.
itself, yeah, yeah, that one.
The
That
adjustable.
yeah,
I have one. It's mine's made from Viking,
it's adjustable
but
concealed.
Yeah,
yes,
concealed.
It's for a
yeah,
concealed head. You got
yeah,
one?
yeah,
Viking makes it.
Look it
yeah.
up.
Let me see this
I'm gonna
thing.
look it up. I'm gonna pull this
I
shit up.
think so. I
Yeah.
have one in the van.
Hold on, I'll find it on Google. Viking
I think it's Viking.
adjustable concealed.
I do have one.
I would say that my blown away item that I seen was the Riptide that is from Hydrotap, which is I think the only competition really that Hose Monster is going to have coming up is this new flow testing equipment, and we got
So what I like
a
about it is
personal
it's
interview right from
one.
Jeremy.
He has four nozzles and it's one piece.
I'm not
So
seeing
you
an
think about
adjustable.
putting it in your van. Um, I
Like
actually talked to a company about it. I think they're gonna go with it.
you could flow 2,000
One box.
GPM and you're carrying just one piece of equipment,
Has a handle.
one
It's
diffuser.
steel. Yeah. So you
It's
don't have
black.
all
It's
these
sleek.
multiple.
It's got it's great. The drop
It
nipple
is.
ratchet was
I
definitely
do
cool.
like
So
it.
something that was also very exciting to me, might not be that exciting for you, was I finally got a pocket uh, uh, driver to open
I
the
got
pot.
you.
Yeah. So I've 17 years I've never had one of them, and I don't know I haven't unpacked yet, but I got both of those, and that was very exciting to me because I've always just used the one it came with.
Yeah. So you just put these in your pocket, like if you're doing
Bang
inspections.
bang. Yeah. One's for system
Yeah,
sensor and
system
one's for
sensor
Potter.
and pot.
Damn,
So
you're making me
for
jealous now. I want
me,
to pull mine out.
I put mine right on my keychain.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't like that angled one though. I've been trying to get one of them nice ones my whole life. I finally got it, man. I lost it. Where the hell is it? Can't find it.
And the guy was like, "You should have just asked."
You didn't. You stole mine, I think. I'm just kidding.
We got both, didn't we? Didn't we get both wrenches?
Yeah, yeah. And then there's just the vibes there are awesome. Then there's people there from like Korea, like fire pump people from Korea and from all over the world. Then like
There's a Fire Protection Korean Institute.
And
I always thought that was really cool.
I stayed like a half an hour later than Brian. I was roaming around, and we're like, you can figure I'm walking around with a tripod. We're actively looking for someone to interview, if you would.
Yeah.
And people kind of look. You can tell if they look at you if they want to talk. But this one guy that was selling this vacuum, dude, he wanted to come up and he wanted to do an interview. So I did an interview with a vacuum dude. He's got a 65-foot vacuum that weighs 9 pounds. You can hold it. It's carbon fiber, and you can vacuum at 65 feet. So
Wow.
I don't know.
Well,
He's at the
we
NFPA conference. I took a little video with him. I'll post that on YouTube. We'll give him a little bit of He said you could vacuum the top of the branch lines. I was like, let's go.
we just bought ourselves our company Hose Monster not that long ago,
The big
and
ones or
them
the little
Hose
ones?
Monster, the big
The
one,
little ones? Oh,
and they are freaking amazing.
Yeah. So we got a video with
Like,
them as well. But they're talking about the little hose monsters with their blue. They have Bluetooth gauges, and
yeah,
it's all digitized on your phone, your smartphone.
yep,
That'd be a sweet video we're gonna drop.
yeah, man. Like they hook up that Hose Monster, and it's beautiful.
Where in Canada? Pretty big country, bruh.
Calgary, Alberta.
Calgary, Alberta. Our brothers from the north. The drop nipple
So it
ratchet
gets
tool.
quite for us. It gets quite cold here, so it gets easily minus 45 in some areas. So a lot of dry systems I work on. A lot of old dry systems. A lot of gem valves.
Are we
So
Oh,
Fahrenheit or are we Celsius up in?
Celsius.
Okay. Yeah, he said what did he say? How fast you going to work, Darryl?
I said 120
I'm like, geez, my van will only go like 90, bro. He's in kilometers though.
kilometers.
So, oh
But
man,
it's so like for me. I wanted to open up my eyes with the industry. I wanted to learn everything about sprinklers, from installing sprinklers to running my own jobs to doing service, fire alarm
that's how it
panels,
should be.
backflows, fire pumps,
I
flow
like that.
switches, and doing inspections. Like I like doing it all, and that's makes me a more fit sprinkler fiddle all around.
Yeah, well,
Like
very well rounded.
for some guys that say like, "Hey, I only do new instruction, and I never seen a live sprinkler. I never filled up a sprinkler system with water yet." It blows my mind.
Yeah, that's a little bit crazy. I like to
yeah.
start them. I like to finish them.
Yeah, and
But
then you know
I do like to
what you did
jump on
wrong.
when stuff freezes. I don't know what negative 45 Celsius is, but we had like negative 20 Fahrenheit, and everything in Boston froze. So I was able to you go in blind, as I say. I like to go in blind. You don't know what you're up against, and you got to try to fix it. You
Yeah,
got to
and
try to
that's
get it
for
back
me
on.
service.
I love that.
I don't half the time I don't know what building I'm going to, how to take it offline, what kind of control valves. It's a new job every single time you go out there. It's not. It's all new. It's exciting. It's not repetitive motion all the time.
Right.
Where some people just do warehouses and it's just repeat, repeat, repeat.
I know what we can do. I got that bag that we got from. Let's see what's in that
So with
bag we
you
got.
wanting, you said that you want to learn this and you want to do this and you want to do all these things. So you're doing inspection service. So what's next for you?
Well, honestly, I did it. I did, I did service. I did commercial. I did residential. I did inspections. I did industrial out in plants. Uh, the only thing I never really stepped my feet in is like what you do, man, selling stuff, the product.
Yeah.
Like that, I never got to that part, and I don't know if I'll ever will. I'm not as good looking as you to sell the product. Sorry,
Are you a handsome
but
man?
Oh, that's
so
good.
for me, I'm just like Bobby. We're not the beautiful people. We're just the hardworking people.
Let's go. That's why I had to recruit Bry. Keep me safe. He's my bodyguard and he's handsome. Look at him. It's like oh yeah, look at this cool thing. These keychains we were getting from Spears.
Ain't that something?
We got a good
Nice.
video from with Spears about they got a shark bite fitting that's coming out.
Yeah, it's
Maybe
basically like a sharp bite.
maybe
It's
it's
I
already out.
forget what it's called, but there's no solvent. You just
Oh, okay. Like
stick it
I
right
like
in.
So you don't have to wait for
How
the
do you?
fill.
So, are you going to change your name now, guys? Because in the near future, with your new videos I seen, you don't need dope, you don't need tape.
That's true.
No, we're sticking
That's
to
what
our
it looks
roots,
like.
baby. I think I'm gonna still keep using it.
Yeah, old school. Like if we were doing scheduled pipe, we put this with the fire sprinkler scheduled show or something like that. Like keep it old school. This is talking to the new
Dope and
guys.
tape.
When they come around, like you just don't know. You just don't know.
Like,
You weren't
Maybe
there.
maybe in 20 years, I have people on this show. They're gonna be like, "What is dope and tape?" And I'm like, "Well, back in my day, kid,
Back in
we
the
put
day.
that shit on everything." Look, you got a cool little
well,
fan. I didn't even realize I had this fan.
I needed that,
well,
man. I was
I
sweating like
know. I needed
crazy in
this
that
too. We were
place.
carrying it around the whole
Ooh.
time.
Next year we need like dry fit shirts.
Oh, I got a
for
mouse
me, I still
pad.
have a couple of these old fitters that I know that I still call them up and I was like, hey, man, I'm working on this old gem valve, or I'm working on these old systems that I'm working on now. And I'm like, how do you even set this valve? Like a reliable valve. Like, I don't know how to do it. And you got to get yourself in there and learn how to do it because there's no paperwork. There's
That's
there's
true.
nothing for you to learn how to do these old 70 valves. Like even fire pumps. Like for me, I had to learn how to do all that stuff, and it took me a while. It's not easy.
Yeah, you gotta research it
So
and you gotta figure it out.
are you part of our dope and tape Discord?
No, I'm not. Like so, like, honestly, I had a couple of questions, and I was looking on TikTok, and I seen Bobby on there, and I was like, fuck, you know what? He would know the answer. Sorry about my language, man.
No,
Uh,
swear away,
yeah.
dog. We're sprinkler fitters here.
We don't have any
So,
rules.
This
No one's
show's this
sponsoring this
show is
show.
sponsored by Dope and Tape. You can say whatever the fuck you want.
so honestly, and then like this, like how Bobby's a nice guy like that. He reached out to me, like he just like reached out back to you back in the day. Like you need more guys in the industry that will help out. Uh, back in my day, it was so much of the hide the tarp behind the valve room, and no one's allowed to be in the valve room because it's the fitters room, and no one's allowed to learn anything. Because
Yeah, I don't like that.
That's how it
if
was.
you
Yeah.
learn, if you learned how to do it, you may steal my job.
No, I don't like that. I want to teach them. I want that. I don't like that vibe. That makes no sense to me. This is what up, Eric? What up, John? Florencio. This is Darryl from Calgary. He does it all. You name some kind of sprinkler that's going on besides sales, he does it up there. He's going 120 miles an hour, and it's 45 degrees negative
Kilometers.
kilometers. I'm
Don't get
joking.
me in trouble.
Joking. That's great. What else can we talk about with Vegas? I kind of just that goodie bag I was just showing. Everybody that goes to the expo gets that bag. There's a little bit of all kinds of stuff from everybody in there. I think I got
So is
socks.
most of their valve rooms outside in
No.
Vegas?
Oh, in Vegas?
Was there
Oh,
a,
Yeah.
yeah.
Isn't it?
That blows me away, man, how they have a valve room outside. Like
we
All
talked
those.
about that
it's
with Chad on here for like California because they're out there. They're outside,
What
and
the
sometimes
fuck?
they might not even have a chain on it.
Bro,
yeah, like
they
You
only
got a
get
stock?
they only gave me one.
Yeah, it's for
man,
Christmas, man, for your little girl.
What, one sock though?
I want sprinkler socks.
Well, that's what these are, but
That'd
they
be
only gave
so
me
cool.
fucking one, man. That's gonna be uncomfortable. NFPA link sock. Dang, I wish
Nice.
I knew. I would have taken yours. Better one of us have
That
two than two of us have one. Jeez, oh man.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so I love when people reach out with questions. That's how I meet a lot of you guys. A lot of people reach out with questions, and I'm always happy to respond. And if I don't know the answer, we're gonna track the answer down because I'll find
Dude,
somebody.
that's the good thing about our Discord. You need to get in there to Discord because we got a lot of guys in there that know a lot of things.
Oh, does Daryl
So
do underground?
No, I don't do under. I actually never did underground.
No
I
underground.
for hydrants, I do everything above. For the hydrants, nothing below.
I've only done underground a couple times. Typically, if the contract has it, we only own 10 feet out, which is really me just stubbing a piece out, and I got to core the hole and put a link
Yeah,
seal in it.
maybe for me for like the FD connection to go run underneath the ground for the FD connection for a new building. But like, yeah, there's not much.
You got Viking fire sprinkler socks? Damn, son. I'm gonna get me some Vikings fire sprinkler socks. All right, what else can we talk about from NFPA?
NFP.
So
What
one
one?
one thing that I missed, no, the convention we just went to. So the one thing that I
Okay.
missed was the booth right next to it, the 669 booth. You know they were lighting fires in there.
What?
They were doing active demos right behind the Arco booth in the 669 trailer where they light like a table and a curtain on fire, and then they like the head puts it out.
Oh, dude.
And I had just missed it, and I went over there, and they were like they were like, we're gonna do it again tomorrow, but it was our last day. Um, Man, I was a bummer missing that. But the 669 had a really, really cool trailer that they travel with, and they had like probably 10 different selections of stickers.
I
Wow.
seen a YouTube video of it's called a smart sprinkler head, where it has an infrared light on it, and it was at an airport, and it sees a fire. The infrared sees the fire, and the sprinkler head will move over to the fire
Oh
like a
wow.
gun, and then it just shoots right on it,
Robot? It's a
and then
robot sprinkler?
keeps it. Yeah,
I don't like robot sprinklers. I'm not down with that sickness, Poppy.
Yeah, I don't. So they use them. They actually use them currently in China. They use them a
yeah,
lot
that's where
in
I seen it. Yeah,
Taiwan, China, and they're up at the top and they're just looking and looking.
Hmm.
yeah, I think that's cool, man. Like
You like that? I
for
don't
me,
know.
hey man, I'm all.
How
I just
much
like learning new
how much
things.
of it is sprinkler and how much of it is electrical? How much of that work? How much of it is
Has
not
to
going
be
to be
one
my work? It's going to just be one
robot
sprinkler in the
has to be
whole
at
room?
least 120 though.
Hmm.
So low voltage
Well,
can't even touch it. You would have to have kind of like if you were working on Firewire. Firewire is 120 volt. So you would have to
yeah,
have a fire alarm guy that's low voltage for the fire alarm, and then you also have to have an electrician.
I don't like
yeah.
robots. I'm
Yeah,
not down with the
yeah.
robots. I tried to order Five
Did you
Guys
have a
today,
bad
and they
experience with a robot,
yeah,
Bobby?
yeah, today on my way home when I ordered Five Guys, they wouldn't answer the phone. I had to order with a robot, and the robot couldn't understand my name. You ever try to just give your food order to a robot and like you can't press zero for the operator, the phone line's down. Like just I'm giving my order to a robot right now, and then I go in there, and then they don't even have my name, so I had to describe my order. She's like, oh yeah, light, light. She had
Light?
the robot put me down as Light. I think I was like yelling at it. At that point, I think I was
That
yelling at the
doesn't sound
robot.
like
So.
you, huh? Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh
I
shit.
think the high pressure system
What do you think of the
was
Flow
really
Buster
cool.
with the suppressor bag? So
I didn't see the suppressor bag.
I think was that where we went? Like we were towards the end, and we finally found
Are you
that
talking
guy
about
over there.
the giant cage flow busters?
Yo,
I love them.
Chandler. Yeah.
Those things are a little bit of a pain in the butt.
Did
They're
you guys
heavy,
check
they're
out any
big.
seismic product booth? Even yeah. So we did go to the seismic booth, and we had something lined up, but them dudes were busy. But they have a universal. They have a universal seismic brace that they're coming out with, where it can accept. It's a lateral brace, and it can accept 1 inch, inch and a quarter. I think 1 inch to 2 inch. He said, because you can only go so far. I think you go what 7 feet with 1 inch and up to 9 feet with inch and a quarter as far as your seismic bracing. So instead of having a whole different clamp, they got like a universal clamp, and then they also had a clamp for the flex heads that clip into the grid with no screw, just a little pop, and it clips on there, mint. But like I said, we went there. We tried to talk to them. They were super busy every time we went there, so we weren't able to get a video with them. But there's some sweet seismic stuff coming out. Question on the inspection side: when doing flushing investigation for systems, is there any alternative for a burlap sack catch to catch the sediment?
Yes.
Why is that blocking
Yes.
So
me from reading?
if you're doing a flush, then that's how you do the flush. So if you have to, like, let's say there's a new underground that's been ran, then you put a burlap sack
He's asking if
on.
there's an alternative.
Well, there is
Uh,
an alternative for it.
what do you got?
If you want me to help out with the question,
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
sure. For me, I like to do a flush before I run my fire pump for the very first time. So for us, like a brand new fire pump could cost $100,000 plus, and you don't want to damage the impeller whatsoever with rocks. so you can flush out your system before you put the fire pump running to get all them rocks out, to make sure everything is running clear through the pipes before you hook up your fire pump, so you don't damage your fire pump. And that's my biggest reason right there for flushing right there. And
Yep.
then internals and everything else.
So this guy's
I
asking, when you're doing a flush investigation for systems, is there any alternative for a burlap sack to catch the sediment? So he's basically saying he doesn't want to use the burlap sack anymore. Who's got something new for him?
I have not seen it, and
No, that's
as
the only thing I ever seen.
well, the inspection. Well, it's the only thing in the book as well.
Yeah.
So that's on NFPA 25 as well as the handbook. Is the burlap sap is the only thing mentioned.
Hmm.
Now, not saying that there isn't something out there. I just don't know. Like, listen, we talked about several different companies who make totally different, in theory, different designs for fire hydrant, for the fire pump, for those inspections. So those are different designs. So there could be a different design for a burlap sap, but for right now, that's what's in the code book. That's what's used.
I've used furnace filters from John.
Furnace filters?
John's using furnace filters. What up,
I
John?
never seen that button.
Let me get a video, bro.
Yeah,
I
please do.
guarantee you, I could say that. I could say this. I do not think that either one is UL listed. Now the reason for this sack is because it catches. You have a bag and it catches all the sediment. If the sediment comes in, you can investigate the sediment. So if you use like a furnace filter, I believe a furnace filter is just a freaking air filter. Like that's not catching anything. That
No.
I don't see how that would ever even work.
Come on,
I
you
don't
gotta
get
you gotta
that.
at least Google it. You gotta at least Google it.
I did. I looked it up. Furnace filters is it's a filter, air filter.
I
Am I
never seen it
right?
before.
You talking about an air filter? This is a regular box air filter? Yeah. I don't see how that's possible.
Roger back, John. Roger back. I'm going images. Furnace filter. I might pull this bad
No.
Larry up on the screen. Furnace filter. Well, he's probably got a contraption that he's like sticking these into. You know? I mean, obviously, I don't know. I would say he's probably got like a, if you got like a piece of ductwork or something, and then you put a bunch of these furnace filters on there.
So let me ask you this. Here's the thing. All right. Let's put this scenario out there, and this is something that you always have to think about. During an inspection, your your inspection report is a legal binding document.
Yes, it
This
is.
this document will be used in court. I have a customer that our inspection reports are going to be used in court. And when you're going, let's say he's going to use this furnace filter. This furnace filter, the example of how to use this is not in FPA 25. It's not in the handbook. It's not
It's
in
not listed.
any of the right. Well, yeah, it's not listed. But there's no example of it being used. But you go with a burlap sack. That's in the handbook. That's in the code book. So let's take that scenario to court. Which you would you rather go to court for?
You're
You want to
100%
do it
right.
the right way. Right.
Yeah,
The
it
tin knocker,
sucks,
the tin
but
knockers have giant pieces of filter wrapped around the hose or the hose monsters.
Well, then you have to also explain that in your report and then hopefully not, but you might have to explain that in court. And if I'm not doing it by court, I want to be as straight laced as
100%.
possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't divvy away from that unless there isn't an actual replacement, direct replacement.
Hmm.
And it's for that. As in you can say, let's say, for example, Mueller. Mueller comes out with their own kind of sack and it's easier to use. You could reference that because that's a hydrant company, but you cannot reference. Oh, these HVAC guys had some duck, and I just
Yeah.
put a filter on it, and we think it works. It looks fine.
I got a couple rocks.
Yeah, it's okay. You gotta be sure,
Gotta be
especially when
sure.
you're dealing with a legal binding document.
Catches it like panning for gold. Yo, John's in it to win it, bro.
Yeah,
John's going to court with his filters.
Good luck to him.
Let's put a sticker on
Tell
the
me if
board
he
here.
wins.
Bam. Flush it good. Flush it real good. Yeah, so we had a great time. Not a lot of sleep
It
because
was
and
awesome.
like a lot of
Not a lot of
like
sleep.
40,000 footsteps. Carrying stuff.
Well, we got about maybe 5 hours of sleep a day.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
But like
it
you
wasn't
guys are
bad.
like 3 generations of family doing sprinklers.
Mm.
Like, is there anything that actually catches you off guard? Like, fuck,
Uh,
I don't know this answer.
uh,
Yeah, yeah, all the time I'm hit with
yeah,
questions I don't
yeah.
know, and I gotta revert. Something I'm still not really good at is like finding stuff in the code book. So sometimes I'm like searching and searching, and then I gotta give up and ask somebody where the hell it is, or I'm always like in the wrong book. I'm always in like the too soon of a book. I'm supposed to be in like 2007 or something, you know? So I gotta hit up
I
my
got
code.
you.
I gotta hit up my code book, boys.
Yeah, like I had a question this week. I didn't know it, and I had to learn it myself. It was like, for me, I do a lot of in, annuals. So a guy asked me, he goes, "Hey, it's 90 seconds for the alarm to come in on the panel, but can it come in any sooner?" And I'm like,
Absolutely.
"No, it it's says in the code book it says 90 seconds. It can come in as
No,
fast as it wants."
let me give you another scenario. All right. So you're saying that it can come as fast as it wants?
By the Alberta Fire Code, it can come in as fast as it wants to come in.
Correct.
They recommend it to be at 30 to 90, but that's just a recommendation as long as it comes in at 90 seconds.
100%. 100%. Let's say
I
that an
like I
insurance
like
company,
30.
yeah, I mean, let's say an insurance company um says, "Hey, I want everything at 25 seconds." And they're the insurer. So they can
Then that's
always
what you
go
do.
over and beyond. Let's talk about, like, for example, in the code book, this is something I'm sure that we're all aware of as in either way. Uh, Joint Commission with Bobby. Joint Commission is what gives funds to American hospitals and healthcare. And then you also have on the other side, you have FM Global. So FM Global and Joint Commission, they both require chain locked as well as monitored. But in the code book, it's either or. So the AHJ, the insurer, can always go for more. They could
Yeah,
say, "Hey, I want it at 10 seconds. I don't
Yep,
want it any more than 10 seconds. I want you to record all of them." They can say that. And yeah, it could be anything. It just cannot be anywhere past 90.
past 90.
correct.
Yeah.
Them dang AHJs. Yeah, and then every one of them's a little bit different, you know? Starting
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
I'm starting to see those
I
ones
don't
now. They keep on coming up where I got to do shutdowns with firemen. That's like I feel like that's going to be taken over. Anytime you drain the system, you got to have a detail.
see we don't do that at all in Atlanta.
Well, like months ago, we weren't doing that here in my area either, and now like some of these towns are implementing it, and it's like gonna start just spreading like a plague, I think.
I think it's a good idea. I think that's
I don't think
expensive
there's enough. I don't think
resources.
there's enough firemen.
I don't think so either. That's what I'm saying. I think it's expensive resources, you know? I mean, you can't have them tied up. Do they roll up in a pumper truck
No, they usually come in their
or like a
personal
truck?
vehicle. It's a 4 hour minimum, but at 4 minutes and at 4 hours and 1 minute, it's 8.
Yeah. Well, what I was thinking about is, if they came in the pumper truck, it's a lot of money to start that
Well,
truck
so
up.
when we had to do the I just did that big shutdown at one of the hospitals. We had a pumper truck. That's a different type of detail. That's because we were draining. If you have a situation where you have to drain consecutive floors, because you're not allowed to drain consecutive floors, so if that comes up, you need a pumper truck outside.
huh.
And so that's what we did, and that's fun seeing the boys. They roll up in the truck, park it out front, hook up to the FDC, chill and wait, collect their dough.
Yeah, like
Not bad.
I have some places where I have to physically call the town and say, "Hey, can I flow hydrants here?" And they may say yes, they may say no, and I have to hook up a meter to flow water to so I can calculate how much water I'm flowing.
And what? And sometimes they don't let you.
Yep.
What do they say? No?
No.
They
Yep.
gi- they
Not
give you
today.
they give you a reason?
Yeah. They'll give me reasons like, "Hey, not today. Too much water got used today already in in the hall, so you have to come back another day."
Huh?
We are there's no one in the pump house today to watch the pumps to see if what's happening. So we can't let you flow hydrants today.
That seems a little bit crazy.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
try to.
interesting.
Uh-oh, I'm dropping everything. Let's try to fill up some dates here. Does anyone want to come on? Do I got pens? What's the actual marker? I think.
I'm actually waiting. I'm waiting for you guys to have a firefighter on next.
Yeah, I've been digging. I've been digging. We
We're
gotta get the. We
trying.
gotta
You
get the
wouldn't
right
think that
one.
that would be so hard to find.
We gotta get the right one.
You do gotta get the one that's affiliated with sprinklers that does like a fire marshal.
Well, we might be able to get one of them soon, but I'm just thinking, just really, just to get a firefighter in here. It could be anybody, just to just to get the conversation rolling about how to respond to emergency fire, sprinkler break, and just can explain the sprinkler system to them and get some insight from them on what they think that we should be doing.
Yeah, like
They're
I
part
went
of our
to
industry, so it'd be good to talk to them. I'll talk to a whole bunch of them. We got a couple of them in here if we have to.
yeah, they just close every single valve, and then
And
and
they
you have to
don't,
go
well,
back and figure out.
and a lot of times they don't drain it, and that's my big pet peeve.
Yeah, they don't drain it.
So I
They
showed
just
up. I
close the
showed up to
valves.
that place where it was the break was on the first floor, and they shut it off, but then the whole place drained into the where the break was, instead of just
Yeah.
letting most of it out the. I think Chad is flying. Chad might be flying right now to like
Oh,
Alaska
the Alaska?
to go. I don't know. Is it Alaska?
Go fishing? Yeah,
Yeah,
he's going
Chad's
fishing.
going to Alaska to go salmon fishing.
Nice.
Maybe that's why he's
I
not
would like
here.
to talk to someone that was around, like 9/11. Hmm.
9/11?
Yeah.
Oh, a firefighter?
Yeah, or has been around some
Woo!
big fires.
Yeah, that's crazy. I was watching a video of a big fire. I think it was in New York many years ago. It's crazy. Some of them high rises and like there was a standpipe that failed. I'll ask
Yeah.
the fireman's gala tomorrow night. Let's go, Wayne.
Yeah.
So let me ask you
My
this. So I've
guy.
never seen this before until the show. We did the interview with Ultrafog, and it was that high pressure. So they go off of there's a stand of six pumps, not fire pumps, but they look like vertical domestic style pumps. That's what they look like.
You,
They don't look like fire pumps, but they are also UL listed, FM listed, and all that. Um, but they put out so you have that like a traditional looking head with filament, and it's very small. That will bust, and then you have these little bitty holes around it, and it just shoots out at between 700 to 1500 psi.
Big
so
Like
how
pressure.
do you hold on to that?
it
That's a,
just fills up the room and it creates a fog.
it's a sprinkler head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a sprinkler head, and it fills up the room, the area with like a fog, because it's super high pressure and it extinguishes the fire that way. So I've
So
never
is
seen that
this
before. I'm sure it's stupid expensive, but it's really cool.
Thursday, July. Yeah, that
They do
that
it a lot on it seems like big vessels
yeah, big boats. That lady was
offshore
awesome.
because they don't use a lot of water.
We'll post that
I
video.
just
That's
yeah?
never
that's
heard it.
that's a very good video.
Yeah,
There's
we'll have it
something I
up
never did
soon.
either. I never worked on a cruise ship before doing sprinklers.
No, they
I think
pull
that'd be a
from.
sweet gig, especially if you're
Imagine the
single.
stuff that gets pulled up into that pump because the pump uses. So sometimes they have, if the vessel's big enough, they'll have onboard water. But for the most part, that pump will pull from the lake or ocean or whatever it's in.
Yeah, we'll have to.
Ocean
But
water.
like the filter alone is like that would be interesting me because like the filter would have to suck up all the seaweed and
The fish.
anything. Yeah, everything. Like
What if you're in a big school
how
of
does that
mackerel?
work?
Well, it has to be big. It has to be
Holy
a good
mackerel.
size. Like, I mean, if it hasn't a pump, I mean that I would imagine the inlet is probably 4 inches.
Massive.
Yeah, 4 inches to 6 inches. 6 inches would be huge, but you would have to clean it.
Oh yeah, you get barnacles in there if you're getting ocean water.
So the high pressure also uses way less water.
Oh right, but she said it was like not even a
Yeah.
mist, right? It's like less than a mist.
Yeah, it's so high pressure, but it cools the room and it creates like a a water fog essentially.
So
Now
cool.
would salt water from the ocean ruin the fire pump?
I mean, with corrosion,
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
yeah,
I would say so.
sure. I
You're
mean, let's
filling it with
remember
salt.
it's the fire pump it's iron.
Yeah.
You know, that's not a stainless steel pump.
You're still testing it. You still got to start it and
Mhm.
run it, right?
I would say you need to run it like at least once a week to keep it going. You can't let that sit for sure.
So you're just gonna keep filling it with salt water once a week. There's no way it lasts half the life of a regular one.
No, I can't. Can't.
You googling it again, Jamie? I mean, Ryan?
Yeah, let me see.
Now I got your brain picking.
I love it. Let's go. Bobby, you ever see a vortex system built by Victaulic? We were looking at it at the show. It's pretty cool. On a carrier, magazine sprinklers, all brass and copper pipe. Oh,
So,
damn.
let's
That's an
see
expensive
here.
system. Yeah, Wayne, let me know what you get at the Fireman's Gala tomorrow night. Who did we sign up for the 13th? I forget. Or who did we sign up for the 11th? I told someone the 11th and I already forget.
Well, I couldn't believe it. Like when I went to Hawaii, like most of the places in Oahu, it was copper piping because all the ocean, uh, all the salt water. So they
Hmm.
most of their sprinkler systems were copper.
Oh, it doesn't corrode with salt?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Huh.
That's why they're copper piping.
I didn't know that. Oh, I remember who was coming on. The first person to reach out on LinkedIn. I went on LinkedIn when my Instagram shut down last night and I just started power pumping it with all this content and LinkedIn's cranking right now. Oh my
I never go
goodness.
on there.
So I see 7 years.
It says 400,000%, Bry.
400,000?
It says 400,000% is where impressions are up.
Oh my goodness.
What is that? How is that even a number?
I don't know.
I'm screenshotting that. That is remarkable.
I mean, LinkedIn's also never seen it before either.
I've been on
They
LinkedIn.
never had anything
I've
like
been on
us.
LinkedIn for 24 hours, and my impressions are up 400,000%.
But you're also the Instagram guru, so you just go and Instagram is
I think
way harder.
I think the LinkedIn algorithm is just so easy to hack compared to Instagram. Couple tags, couple hashtags, nice video, nice description, bam, and then it like spreads to all the different connections, the first and the seconds and the thirds. I'm figuring it out. We're gonna lock it down. We're gonna get that thing to 1,000,000%. I'm
That'll be
having I'm
awesome.
having a good time. Sorry.
So
It's fun.
for product, what are you selling the most for
Product.
product wise? Like, because you're a salesman, so like, what are you selling the most? Like,
So I am kind of like what you would say like a no limit salesman. So I can sell anything. I can sell new construction, service, inspections. We do have a guy who handles uh inspection deficiencies. So for typically what I'm doing right now is mainly multi-day service work and inspections. That's kind of what I'm selling currently. That's kind
okay,
of what's been kind of coming my way. I am working on a national account, so something that's nationally. So I'm working on an agreement contract with with a large company, and I have a huge like 12-week service job that's a little over $500,000 that I'm working on. So
Let's
I'm pretty
go.
busy. Yeah, big stuff, man. I'm
Sales guy
staying.
Bry.
I could literally I could work 24 hours a day. Like I'm so busy. It's great. Yeah,
that's good though.
my boss always says, "Sell some more, Brian. Mama wants some new shoes." You know.
That's awesome. I like how you can just work like, if there was nothing going on at 9 o'clock at night, you could do some work.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it's very so with my current role, it's very self-motivating because I might not talk to anybody if I don't need to. I might not talk to my boss or anybody for 3 days.
Yep.
Like I can literally be doing anything.
But
So
you
it's very
working.
self-motivating to stay on track and get after it.
That was the other
Because
thing about.
I do like nice things and I do like to be the best and I want to be competitive and nothing about me wants to do anything else. I mean that just makes me feel lazy. Like I'm working, my wife's working, so why not give it my all, you know? Because I could leave and go watch a movie, you know, at the movie theaters. Waste 3 hours. Who would know? Nobody, you know?
No movies.
Like
We don't got time for
like
that.
my wife says to me all the time, like you be a great salesman, Darryl, because you're easy to talk to. You love to talk to people, and you just don't shut up. And that's what a
Uh
salesman's all about.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
maybe
my
maybe
wife
they can
says
let
the
you sell
same
some
thing.
shit.
So I love to talk to people. I love people. I love being around people and there's never a moment that I'm not like willing to talk. But let me tell you, look, man, on the way back from Las Vegas, I sat down on my seat in my plane seat. Going there was cool because I had a friend and me and her chatted the whole time. It was a lot of fun. But on the way back, I was so done. I was just done. I sat down. The guy next to me, look, I know this is rude. It's gonna sound really bad, but he just started talking to me, and I was like, just stop, just stop." He said, "Stop what?" I said, "Just stop talking to me. Stop, stop." Dude, I felt bad, but I was just like, I mean,
How?
bro,
The lady
I
next to
Oh,
was
me
you
so
was
must have been
done,
the
done.
lady next to me was definitely on a combination of Xanax and alcohol or something of
just
the sort
gone.
because she was gone. And I think the problem was that there was a medical emergency at the gate as they were doing the too much fuel, unfuel, refuel. So it was sorry, I lost my train of thought there.
I think she timed it wrong.
Huh?
I think she
The
timed the
medical
Xanax
the
wrong.
oh yeah, so I think she timed it wrong. Yeah, that's what I was getting at. So maybe because we didn't take off for an extra 2 hours. So if she was like ready for the flight and she was like someone who gets nervous on the plane, and then it was like 2 hours later because when we got on, like as I was putting my bag up, I'm like, this lady is zonked, bro. Like I knew right away. I'm like, I had the window seat and she was on the aisle, right? And she was just like mouth open the whole time. Then she would like sit up, but I was jealous because I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep on that plane. It was pretty bumpy.
I had four babies on the way home,
Woo! Who's
Oh,
bringing babies to Vegas?
dude. Four of them. I know,
Why do you? Oh, we didn't have any, I didn't have any babies, luckily. And they also were
but
preaching the whole time, and I think they do this now. They just say the plane is full. The plane is absolutely full, and if you want to put your bag, you're not going to be able to fit your bag, so check your bag. And you know how they try to do that, like before you get on.
no,
There was
Delta
like
doesn't do that.
there was so many empty seats.
why do
Delta
you think
doesn't
I'm
do
in the
that.
van tonight?
Oh yeah, because
I
it's
have two
because
babies.
the kids. Oh, some guys do that. Chris did that. Who else
You
did
got
that?
any? Hey, you got any tools in there with you? You
Tools
got
ready.
any cool tools? What you got? Ah, there you go.
Little screwdriver. What's that? Is that your work vest? What's that vest you got on behind you?
Oh well, vest and a hard hat. I
Is
never
that
use it. Never wear it.
that's a safety vest?
Yeah,
Red?
yeah,
Red?
yeah.
it's like
Red with the white stripes.
oh okay. Oh I got you. I'm
Ah,
Yep.
seeing the inside.
well, that
Okay.
thing's seen some days.
Damn.
Oh, I never use it.
You got a tourniquet in there?
Not
You have
yet.
any we got any flood stories for us?
Well, I had one scary story, and it pumped my heart up quite a bit. Never had a flood, knock on wood.
Yeah.
But for me, I had one scary incident. I was on a service call, and we were doing an internal inspection, 5 year internal on a warehouse, and we're up on scissor lifts, opening up 6 inch main and taking pictures inside of it. And we turned the control valves, the OSMY valves. We closed them. We opened up the ball valve, and we drained the system down. We watched the gauge go down. And my partner's like, "Hey, can you give me a hand on my side?" And I gave him a hand on his side for about roughly an hour. And I went back to my side of the building, what I was working on, and I went up on the scissor lift and I started opening up the 6 inch coupling. And I could feel the pressure and I didn't know what was going to happen. So I got nervous, and I'm glad I did get nervous. I went down, and I went back to the valve room, and I checked my system that I was working on, and I had 120 psi pressure on it. And I was trying to open up a 6-inch coupling.
Woo.
What
Ooh.
happened was, uh, I didn't know this at the time. No one had this on the reports, but the control valve was passing.
Mm.
So that didn't matter how tight I got it. It was passing,
She was
and
leaking by.
yeah, and the drain was open, so it did go down to zero. But the maintenance guy seen that the water was going on the floor, and he didn't want anyone tripping on the water, slipping on it. So he closed the control valve to
Oh,
the
wow.
drain to stop the water. And when he closed the control valve, it just started building pressure back up in the system again. And an hour while I was helping out my other journeyman, that took enough time to build up the system again, and I almost opened up the live coupling.
Man, maintenance
Wow.
guy. Almost got you.
Yeah,
Whew.
so that was my big scare so far in my life.
You can tell when you're taking that Vic apart, especially with an
You can
impact,
feel it.
and it's full, and the bolt just doesn't get loose. It just keeps on. It's just still tight. Put
Yeah,
it back in drive and send her back up because it's still full.
Oof,
Yeah, you can
that's
tell.
wild.
You can tell.
All right, does anybody want to come on the show
What do I
next
got?
month? Or I
Yeah,
guess
next
next
one.
week, huh?
No, yeah.
Next week's full.
No, we got. What day is it? 22nd? Yeah, we got Mike on the 27th. We got Shaggy on the 29th. We're not doing a show on the 4th of July. Chad set us up with a rad fire alarm chick for the 6th. I think I told Victolic lady from LinkedIn the 11th. Does that sound right? I'm gonna write it down with a question mark.
That's
And
awesome.
then I got, I believe, Josh, who was trying to contact you, which we think he might have had the wrong number about
Yeah,
getting
I never
somebody
got the
on. So I
call.
just put his number down for the 13th. But actively looking now, July 18th and after, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 18, 20, 25, 27. Hit us up with a recommendation. Tell us if you want to come on. Let us know if you want to come back on.
So I
You
have a
know?
little flood story, and I'm gonna try to get the fitter that was on the job with me, and he has a lot of experiences. This was actually my job. He has a lot of years of experience, and he worked up in New York for a long time. So I'm gonna talk to him, see if he'll come on. We were on the job to like I want to say it was like, geez, it was early in the morning, 3 a.m. or something like that. It was a mess.
Oh, because of the flood?
It didn't flood while I was there,
What
but
do you want? You want to set him up for the 18th or something?
yeah, let's do that.
What's his name?
July 18th.
Brian Friend? What do you want me to write his name?
Huh?
What's his name? Poppy.
Wayne Huxtable.
Wayne. All right.
oh, it still
Text me his
blows my
email later.
mind. It still blows my
July
mind when
15th.
people.
18th. What is it, Darryl?
It still blows my mind when someone tries to take a sprinkler head out, and they don't have a nipple ball valve on them. I'm
Yeah,
like,
man.
oh, the system's drained. I'm
I
like, I'm
couldn't
like,
I couldn't get
you
that
can't
fucker in
trust
there.
that.
I couldn't get that fucker in
I'm
there,
like,
dude. Someone told me to put a piece of copper inside the nipple so it has like a little bit to come out so you can catch it on the RC. Dude, there's 180 psi coming out of one single half inch. I don't know, man. I was up there trying. Been doing sprinklers a long time. I had little arms. I was fucking right there getting soaked. That thing has got so much power. I couldn't get that ball valve in there.
man, I
Wow.
always have my nipple ball valve. I could never take a head out and then not knowing.
I think it's a false sense of hope.
Oh
It's a false sense of hope, Daryl. Because I've always had mine now for like over a decade, and when I needed it, I couldn't get her in. You know, bastard. I
That's
gotta
what
invent.
she said,
I
huh?
gotta. I gotta invent
that's why I'm
something.
laughing.
Let's go. All right, so we got a couple booked. If anyone else hit me in the DMs, my Instagram is back live. I got taken down for a little bit, or it was glitched or something. I don't know.
Any questions from the guys?
Any questions? No, the comments are a little bit light tonight. The viewers are a little bit light tonight. It's all right. We're back. We've been pumping content, so maybe they're sick of our face for a little bit, but it's our next show. Our next show is Mike on Tuesday. Mike Tabarez. All right. I think that's it. You got anything else to say?
For me
I'm
or
good,
for
man. Thank you so much for coming on. We
Thank you
really
for
appreciate
watching.
it.
Yeah, thanks for talking with us, Darryl. We
no
appreciate it.
problem, boys. Hey, I
And
appreciate it too, man.
everyone that's
Thank you.
watching, we appreciate you. If you want to hit the like and the subscribe button, if you haven't, the subscriptions have been going up. We're 346. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. And stay tuned on the YouTube page. When you go to the YouTube page, you got to go to the video section if you want to see the video section or the short section to see the stuff that we're doing in NFPA. That's where we're posting it, and we're also posting on LinkedIn if you're on there. And it will trickle to the other apps eventually. But if you want to see the full videos, you'll see them on YouTube.